Welcome to Aaron Plays. This will be episode 34 of my Fire in the Lake playthrough, myself playing as the US and the other three factions being played by the Tru'ng expansion box. Welcome back to the jungles and mountains of Vietnam. In the last episode, we had the unleashing of the North Vietnamese Easter offensive and the subsequent US counterattack in the Delta. In this episode, we will be moving on to what the Arvin and the VC do in and around that Easter offensive. And we have a coup, or a failed coup, coming up. So let me get rid of this mini-me. There we go. And we're, as you can see, the failed attempt coming up. And we're currently in peace talks. So, and we have the Arvin are up first. Okay, so first thing we need to check, because the VC are eligible, if they actually launch the Tet offensive. Okay, they've got 23 guerrillas. There's 7 guerrillas on this chart here. There's got a total of 30 guerrillas. So we know there's 23 on the map. Okay, and there's 2 greater Arvin leaders in the VC box. So on a 1 or a 2, they actually launch the Tet offensive, which they do. Okay. Interesting. Wait a minute. The coup is up. That might stop. I think that actually does stop the pivotal event. Not if coup next. Okay. Right. Glad I corrected myself on that, as you're all screaming at the screen. There is no Tet offensive. So, okay, because the coup card is invisible. Let's see what the Arvin, because they're first eligible up on this peace talks card, will do with current event is critical and effective. It's not critical or effective for the Arvin, so they ignore it. Next eligible will choose critical event. Is it critical for the VC? It's card number 3. No, so it's not. First choice on upcoming critical event? No, because it's a coup. We don't know what else is upcoming after that. Otherwise, they do an op and SA. So Arvin do an op and special activity, which means I've got to draw a card. The first card that comes up is Arvin K, which is, right, coin control pop plus patronage is equal to or greater than 42. No, it's at 34. So the answer is no. So draw a new card. Okay. Arvin card L. NBA base or NBA control in any 2 pop space. NBA base or NBA control in any 2 pop space. In fact, in 2 of them. So the answer is yes. 3d6 Arvin pieces available. Right, so let's roll 3d6. 1, 2, 3. So that's 12. Are there equal to or less than 12 available Arvin pieces? There's actually bang on 12. So the answer is yes. So they do train. All right. Option 1 is place all available ranges. They have no available ranges. Then place cubes. So, and that's highlighted in black on the card. So I've got to follow the place cubes instruction on the, what is this called? The non-player aid card. Okay, so place cubes and or ranges. And the first one, it says city or province in South Vietnam without coin control. Now, when it actually comes to placing cubes following the normal rules under train, it's got to be a location, it's got to be a city or province without NBA control. And if city or US Arvin base, place 1 to 2 rangers, or up to 6 Arvin cubes, if desired in one train space. Okay, so it's got to be a city or base, or US or Arvin base. Okay. Doesn't say they've got to be under, it's got to be without NVA control. So is that a city or base? Well, there's a base here. Didn't quite take it. So, right. However, they can't place it in any troops in Binding because it's NVA control. So, again, following the restrictions, they want to place it in a city or a base without coin control. I think all the places apart from Binding where there is a city or a base is under coin control. Yep, okay. So, and they can't place it in Binding because it's NVA control. That's specific to the actual instructions for the game itself. All right, so next option is most pop, which will be Saigon. Okay, without a doubt. So they will place up to 6 cubes and they alternate, starting with soldiers. 1, police, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm now going to mark that one of those pawns, show that that place has been done. Following the actual card, this is Arvin L. Place cubes. Okay. And with that, rolling a dice, see if they continue. It's got to be higher than a 3, which it is. Now, to place a base, if desired in one train space, replace 3 Arvin cubes with Arvin base. Or if Arvin troops, police and coin control, pacify 1 to 2 levels. So they could place, oh no, they've got no bases. Don't worry about that one. Okay. It says if no base, shift to passive support for a maximum of 1d3 areas. If desired in one train space. So, okay, so that's the first space. The next space is most pop again. And it's still got to be a city or province without NVA control. And it's if city or US are in place. Okay, so city with most pop. After that is, or base, still can't be here. Okay, so it could be Huanggang. The south has got pop of 2 and a base, US base. Where else is there a US base? Pardalak, but it's only got 1, and Hoi is a city. So it's between Hoi and Huanggang. So Hoi will be on a 1, 2, or 3. That's not just down. Huanggang, it will place the next 1, 2, maximum extent, so all the troops will actually go down there. So they're making really secure Mekong Delta. Okay, so that's all they got. troop-wise. So that's the train complete. And shift to passive support an area where they trained. Well, pacify 1 to 2 levels. They only go maximum to passive support, and those 2 areas are already at maximum active support, so they won't do it any further along there. Then they do a special activity. Govern. And up to 2 spaces to 1, add 2 plus patronage using govern. And 0 add aid using govern. Well, aid is not at 0. So if aid was at 0, they would add aid rather than patronage. So obtain aid or patronage is the govern instruction. 1 or 2 coin control spaces with support and not Saigon nor selected for training. Okay. So there is a govern option on here. Place with most population. So they would, now to govern, each space, 1 or 2 coin control spaces with support and not Saigon nor selected for training. With the most support, most population. Most populations. And his coin control here. That was selected for training. I should have marked that. We can't choose that one. Okay. But they could choose 1 or 2 coin control spaces with support and not Saigon or select for training. Okay. Each space add 3 times pop to aid, or if more Arvin cubes than US cubes, transfer 1 times pop from aid to patronage and shift 1 level towards neutral. Okay, so here they've got 2 cubes. Here they've got 2. Most pop though is going higher. Anywhere else with a 2 population where there's more? And Hoi. That looks about it. And it says in 2 spaces, so I'll do both. So each space moving in, or if more Arvin cubes than US cubes, transfer 1 times pop from aid to patronage. Okay, 1 times pop from aid to patronage and shift towards neutral. So that's just that one. Adjust towards opposition, that's neutral. And that's 2 points off aid and 2 points onto patronage. Oh, not resources. Okay, and then doing that again in Hoi, just towards opposition. And again, 2 off aid. They're greasy little buggers. Taking, yeah, all that lovely aid we're giving them, and it's going into line their pocket. Okay, so that concludes their special activity. End faction play, end card play. So, faction. Right, we've got the VC up. What are they going to do? All right, so active faction will be the first eligible upcoming critical event, and no, it won't be because there isn't an upcoming critical event. First eligible chose op an essay, an event is performed and or critical. No, it's not. Not for the VC, which is a blank dash. Okay, will be first eligible on upcoming card. No idea. First eligible chose op only or first eligible op plus essay. They do a lim op. Okay, I've got to remember that they're doing a lim op. Right. Okay. So that means drawing a card. First card that comes up for them is VCB. Underground VC guerrillas in any space not at active opposition. Yeah, there's Queen Fong here, Bin Hui, Huang Nagai. There's a couple of them floating around. Yes. 3d6 available VC pieces. Oh. Right, let's roll it. 1, 2, 3. So that's 9 plus 6 is 15. The answer is no. 15 is not equal to less than the available pieces. So we go to flip the cards. So we VCB, B. Question asks, 3 plus VC guerrillas in any space with US troops and no VC base. 3 plus guerrillas in any space with US troops and no VC base. No. No. One guerrilla. Base, base, base. 3 guerrillas. No US troops. No. Okay, the answer is no. So it becomes a terror option. So select spaces using place terror. Okay. You got the card. So place terror, city or province not at active opposition. Okay, there's a few of those. Most pop. Right, so that's got 2 pop. That's got 1. That's got 1. That's got 2 pop. And not at active opposition. So those 2 are the prime candidates. We narrow it down any further. US as a player, most total support. Neither of them got, they're both at the same level. Passive at the moment. City or province with most VC guerrillas. All right, so there's 2 underground here, and there's quite a few more here. So this will be the first province that gets the terror. So return to activate, place terror. That changes that to act towards opposition. Yeah, that's all that happens with terror. Let's just go through the actual terror on the normal activation card, just in case I'm getting incorrect. First, build opposition, hurt the economy. Spaces with underground VC guerrillas, 1 resource per province or city. Each select space, activate 1 underground VC guerrilla. Do I activate underground VC guerrilla? Yes, I did. Okay. Place terror of knowledge, shift 1 level towards active opposition. Okay, so that's all done. Just make sure I do everything correct on the card. Select spacing using place terror. VC baitware 2 plus underground guerrillas. Yeah. And if there's a line of communication, no. Didn't say anything about line of communication so far. Okay. So that was the first one. And the card has got a 2, so 3 or higher, they carry on. They do. So they then place terror in this province here. So activate, place terror, just towards opposition. Okay, so that's 2 places they've done. Do they continue? They don't, because the card says a 2. Oh, wait a minute. This was a limop. Let's just take those actions back. So the one that they did here was the only one that could be done. So Put that back there. Delete the terror. I'll put that back to our support. My bad. Yeah, it was a lim op. So they only had the option to do one space and no special activity. Okay. So that ends the faction play. End card play. Draw card. What was the effect of that? Infiltrate. Yeah, we did that. So first thing that'll go to there. Okay, so we have the coup, which I will do in the next video. So thank you for watching. Until next time, bye.